I think that there are women who will settle to get what they can out of the man that they want, right? I don't think it's necessary because, like, to what Marcus was saying, like, addressing the man in who he is in society. There are women out there that will settle for breadcrumbs just to be associated to that man.
Mm-hmm.
They will settle for less than the bare minimum just to be able to have that type of relationship with that type of guy. Like, it's become a social status for women to be associated with those kind of men, that getting a fraction of attention, right? Like, there's videos going viral on TikTok saying like, "Oh, I was at this club with this celebrity and he just happened to look my way one too many times." And that's enough attention to be associated to that person, right? Like, some women really are okay getting whatever scraps that they can from that guy, right? So what are they losing, and why they're shifting away from their delegated role is the self-respect that wasn't there in the first place, right? And if we're gonna talk about it in all honesty, that's really what it is, because any woman who's willing to settle for crumbs is lacking in self-respect, regardless of the man that is. So if you're willing to engage and sustain a relationship out of that, eventually it becomes not enough, and you start, as Mr. Leko would say, it acting like a child, right, and throwing these very public tantrums, right, because you engaged in a relationship that wasn't really fulfilling.
And let
And
me add this on to that. Brittany Renner, right? You know what she lost? That's an attractive young woman. 99.9% of the men that she potentially could have dated prior to doing all of this extra goofy shit will not talk to her. They won't give her the time of day at this point. She said, my DM's dry, nobody sliding in. I mean, come on, bro. This is what she was saying. And that's a very attractive young woman. And men be thirsty. So for you to become a social pariah just to do, like, it's like
but
snitching.
that's
Like,
on
yeah,
a
you get up out the jam,
celebrity.
but
But
you know,
let's I want
you
to
really
bring
want to
it
live like
down
that?
from a celebrity level to a regular Johnny.
Well, what I was
Michael.
going to say on a regular level or any level, and I know everybody's going to probably disagree or have an issue with this, but I'm going to say it because it is what it is. I think that's the difference between a person who have character and integrity and morals. When you're moving in that direction, a lot of that has to do with I move and I do the thing that I do because it's the right thing to do, not because it's necessarily if I have the option. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes doing the right thing is going against what is deemed okay. I think a lot, like in our society, especially when it comes to side chicks or men stepping out on their marriage, or if they have a certain level of money, then they get the right to be able to do that, and everybody should understand that. And I think for me, when I look at it from a perspective of character and integrity. And I don't think you can be a man or a woman who practices that lifestyle and say that you are a person of good character or good integrity, because those two things don't go hand in hand. Now, if it's a mistake or you slip up, I understand not everybody is going to be perfect. But I think the difference between slipping up or something like that, and then y'all got to work through it, but your goal and your aim is to maintain a commitment that you made when you got married to forsake all others. Now, if you got married and that was not something like y'all agreed to an open marriage, or y'all had the discussion and it was a understanding, I think that's something totally different. But if we go into an agreement and we're saying that we're forsaking all others, and then you add the caveat, but because I make a certain level of money, that doesn't really apply to me. Like, that's the part that I look at when I'm talking about just because you can don't mean you should. And when you're moving in, when you're saying that you're a person of character or a person that has integrity, that's how you move. It doesn't matter what society says is okay. It's about what you decide is supposed to be in your marriage, and you move accordingly. And I think a lot of times you'll have people that say that, oh, that person's great, good character. You got to look at their character. You got to look at their integrity. These are the things that you're looking at when you're vetting. So when you're vetting, those are things that you are looking for. Like, is he going to be able to stand his ground even when he's tempted? Is he going to be able to create a system to avoid the temptation? You know, things like that. So one of those things of avoiding temptations, like I had said with the example with Jackie Chrissy, like for them to keep their marriage solid, his response, Doug's response was, I'm gonna have my wife here with me. So I won't even give myself the opportunity to step out on my marriage. And I think a man of integrity and character, that's how he's going to move. I don't care what y'all say. As my teammates, you can get mad as you want, but right here, this is my priority.
So look, I think like a lot of times, sometimes men make concessions to things they may not agree with indirect.
Gina, you have no character or moral or integrity. That's crazy.
Thank you for watching, Gina.
Sorry.
It was funny.
Oh, Gina. Yeah, Gina.
She said, shout out to Gina.
Look, so this what I would say. Sometimes maybe making deals under duress, right? And that could have been a duress-made deal where he probably already got caught cheating. So to hold that man up in the standard, like, oh, he just do this because that's just what he. That sounded like a duress deal, and he was trying to keep it together. He probably ain't had no prenup. And all type of extra craziness was going on. And if I was him, I couldn't even feel like if my wife demanded that I do
the consequences need to be greater to keep men in line. Then
no, you viewing this from a female perspective so hard that I can't even see.
It's not that I don't understand that the temptation is there. It's not that, because I've like I said, I've literally I actually had a chick look at me up and down like, who's this? You know what I'm saying? And that was my brother. Like, so I'm sitting here and I'm like, yo, like I saw it firsthand of what certain guys are going to be dealing with. But I'm also looking at, to like what Shem was saying, like if we're not even talking about celebrities, right? I understand that just on a general level that you have some men that deal with temptation. But when you look at the average man, a lot of times they can control the situation. I think it's different when you are a celebrity because a lot of it is just coming your way. It's a little different. But looking at the average man, the average person, they can create their own bubble in the sense of trying to put themselves in situations where they don't. Like I remember hearing Anton speaking one time where he was saying one of the things that he do, like he'll show up to events, he'll go to the thing, but afterwards when everybody's going to the club and they party, I don't go. I go straight home. You know, now I'm just saying this is what I heard. Now, whether or not it's true, I can't speak.
I'm not saying it's true or not.
I'm just looking at your face.
You just made.
I'm just looking at your face. So my point being is, if you are trying to honor your marriage, honor your vows, then I do think you move in a certain way to protect yourself so you don't end up in situations like that. That's all I'm saying.